I was praying that God give me another chance to talk to my dad again and, tell him I love him and that, how much I need him and how much I care about him. I grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I played football ever since I was 4 years old. And I've always just been around football. Growing up, my dad always used to take me to LSU camps, and I was always around the LSU players. And, I just fell in love with it. It was just like, I'd say it was love at first sight. That's what I would say. I just fell in love with the game.
Eventually, Brandon's father would reach the highest level of the sport.
My dad played in the NFL, and he got drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he played 6 or 7 years in the National Football League.
But Brandon would discover at a young age that being the son of an NFL player would bring its challenges.
Growing up with a dad in the NFL was always kind of tough because you kind of have like a target on your back as how they perceive you. My relationships with my dad has always been kind of rocky throughout my life just because of how hard he was on me, my brother, and my sister. He put a lot of pressure on us. It affected our relationship. And going into college, we didn't really speak my first couple years in college.
Then, in the summer of 2022, while a football player at Louisiana, Brandon would receive news that would change everything.
I got a call from my brother, and he told me that my father had shot himself. And so I told my coaches at the time that I had to go back home because, I wasn't on great terms with my father at that time. My head was spinning that whole ride, I would say. Everybody's calling me, telling me, your dad's not gonna make it. Some people were telling me that he passed away. I was praying that God give me another chance to talk to my dad again and, tell him I love him and that, how much I need him and how much I care about him. And then when I got to the hospital, the doctor took me into a room and said that your pops is not gonna make it. I stayed in that hospital. I stayed in Tuscaloosa for I'd say 2 weeks. Just kept faith. Each day he progressed. He got better and better each day. And, I just kept on praying that he would make it out. And, he did. And it's turned out for the best.
As his father recovered, Brandon would be gifted a second chance at rekindling their relationship. But it would also give him a chance to further his trust in his Lord and Savior.
I've always been religious. I've always been a Christian. But it wasn't until the things that happened with my father where I really got honed in on really feeling and believing it. And that's when I really, felt the presence of God, just because when, getting that call and being told by the doctor that your father's not gonna make it, that's what made me really tell myself, God is real, man. He's real.
Today, Brandon is a safety for the Flames. His biggest fan? His father.
Adiano takes a shotgun snap hip high, looking over the middle, throws it that way. The receiver is open and knocked away by Brandon Bishop.
A shared passion for football and a revived love for each other has led to a promising future for a father and a son.